today's daily math review. Hopefully you are watching them and it is helping. So today, first problem, we need to review long division. And of course, I don't have, again, the sticky note with the problem. So I'll walk back to my desk. I'll walk back over here. So our long division problem was 1,596 divided by 42. So to start, 42 does not divide into 1 because 1 is smaller than 42. 42 does not divide into 15 because 15 is smaller than 42. But, use my yellow here, 42 does divide into 159. We have to try to guess and check how many times. And so I'm going to do my guess and check right now in red. And what I would do is I would look at the 4 and the 15 and say 4 goes into 15 3 times without going over. So that's what I'm going to guess and check. I'm going to say 42 times 3. Remember, I tell students, do your guess and check to the side or on a separate piece of paper. But do it organized so that if you need it, if you need to have multiples of 42 again for another problem, you have it. So 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. So it looks like that's going to work. We've done our guess and check. We believe we're going to use 126. The next step is to multiply. So we actually have to take this and put it into our problem. We're going to put the 3 here. 3 times 42, we just did over here, is 126. That's our multiplication. Our next is subtract. So 9 minus 6 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. So that works. Our remainder, what we get for subtraction, has to be less than what we're dividing by. So I've done my subtraction. Now I can't divide 42 into 33 though, because as I said, 33 is smaller than 42. So I'm on to my next step, which is bring down. Okay, so now I'm going to do, that's bring down, 42, and then it says repeat. So now I have to do 42 into 336. If it helps, I'm going to highlight, that's what I'm dividing into. So I need to, I'm going to go back to, I did guess and check in red, so I'm going to do guess and check in red again. 4 goes into 33 8 times, because 8 times 4 is 32. So I'm going to guess and check, whoops, it helped if I was on the pen, helped if I was on the red pen. 42 times, what did I just say I was going to do? I said 4 goes into 33 8 times. That's all messed up. Okay, so 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Oh, that's what I needed. So I've done guess and check twice. Now I need to actually put it into the problem. That's the multiplication. So it was 42. What gave me 336? 8. So 8 times 42 is the same as 42 times 8. And that is 336. I've done my multiplication. Subtraction. I know you probably see that it's going to be 0, but I want to show you that we're going to do all the work. 6 minus 6 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. So I have all zeros. There's nothing else here to bring down. My problem is done. The answer is 38. So hopefully doing those steps is going to help you with doing the problem. Going on to the next one. What is the GCF? What is the greatest common factor? So while you're doing this, you should be able to tell me what a factor is. I'm writing this. A factor is all the numbers that multiply to get the number. So for instance, I want the GCF of 16, and I want the GCF of 12. So 1 times 16 is 16. I could do these at the same time. 1 times 12 is 12. Okay? Let's do our 2's. Since this is even, 2 times some number equals 16. It's 2 times 8. And down here, 2 times some number equals 12. Let's do the next one. 3. 16 is not a factor of 3, but it is a factor of 12. 3 times 4. And since there's nothing in between 3 and 4, I have my factors of 12. Let's go back to 16 here. So 3 didn't work. 3 times, not a factor. 4 times some number equals 16. Oh, 4 times 4. Okay. So what is the greatest common factor? They both share a 1 as a factor. They both have factors. 1 is a factor. 2 is a factor of both. 3 is not a factor of both. 4 is a factor of both. 6, not a factor of both. 12, not a factor of both. 8, not a factor of both. 16, not a factor of both. So if you do this, you're not going to get full credit. You need to point out that the largest of these, the greatest common factor, is 4. And I shouldn't put equals 4. There's reasons for that. I shouldn't put equals. Should write the words. Okay. Going on to the next one. Find the LCM of 6 and 12. So this is where I really like the way Ms. Van Buskirk does this. If you look at a multiplication chart, 6 and 12 multiply to get 72. Multiples are larger than the number you start with. So you can look at your multiplication chart and have the multiples of 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. Or you can look at a multiples chart. 3, 36, 48. I'm going to just do a few to see if by chance I have a multiple in common. So multiples of 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. Since I'm looking for the smallest, oh, I wasn't even thinking here. Look, I was thinking it was this. But I would have been wrong. 36 is not the least common multiple of 6 and 12 because there is 1. Make sure you realize, and it might actually have helped if I'd written 12, 24, but 12. Least common multiple of 6 and 12 is 12. Okay? Going on to the next problem, long multiplication, which I noticed on these is not as long because she keeps giving you a bunch of zeros, which just keeps. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the second number, the 0.007, this digit, up. So basically, 9 times 7 is 63. I'll put the 3 here. Whoops. That is not what I wanted. I did not want that. Back to pen. 9 times 7 is 63. 7 times 4, looking at your multiplication chart if you need it, is 28. So I literally just 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So I made 6 dots. Yeah, I literally make dots. 7 times 3 is 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, now, if I actually followed this, let's go over here. Then I would do 0. Oh, that should have been highlighted. And that's all going to be 0, right? I'm not going to put any number here. I'm going to start here, 0, 0, 0, 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. And then I'm going to do, I'm not going to put anything here. I'm going to start here. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Did I really need all those zeros? No. When I bring this all down, but I need to know how many decimal places. So my original 34.9 had 1 digit in the decimal place. 0.007, which is 7 thousandths, has 3 digits. 1 plus 3 is 4. So if I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer is 0.2443. If I want to say that correctly, 2 is in the tenths place, 4 is in the hundredths place, 4 is in the thousandths place, and 3 is in the 10 thousandths place. If I was going to write it as a fraction, which allows me to say it correctly, 2,443 10,000ths. Okay. And the last one, which words apply? And the answer question was -3. So what is an integer? Let's remember this. An integer, I think this is really important to know this, is the set of whole numbers, it's a number symbol, and their opposites. And the reason I did this is because even I, when I first said, is -3 a whole number? Well, it's an integer. And the integer is the set of all whole numbers and their opposites. So -3, the opposite of -3 is 3, right? So that's the whole number. So -3, not a whole number, but it is rational. If it is an integer, it is rational. Pretty much everything you guys are going to have in 6th grade is rational. You're not going to start working with irrational numbers until we get to pi. You might remember this from like the area of a circle, the Greek symbol pi, which means approximately 3.14. That's the only irrational number that we really deal with in 6th grade. So I hope this video has helped you. I hope you're watching it and you are getting better at your daily math.